What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to another Thor Media podcast. I'm your host, Hawk from Detailing Made Simple, and today I have something special for you all. So it's about to be a year since I've purchased this vehicle, and pretty much it is time for me to actually do an engine bay cleaning. I like to do this once a year, and it's pretty dusty and sandy and has pollen and all this stuff inside my engine bay compartment, and it is pretty much a simple process, and I'm just going to show you my process, and whether you want to dress it or not, that's all up to you. And I will just show you everything in and out. And as you can see on the overhead, it is very dirty for something that's already been about a year. All this sand, soot, pollen, all this stuff ends up being in your engine bay. And as much as I like to keep the outside clean, once in a while, I like to do just a thorough cleaning on the engine bay. So I will show you my process, and most of it is just the topical part. I'm not really getting in there with the scrub brush, especially if you continuously maintain your engine bay and don't neglect it. Then it's not something that you really need to do all, to really get in there with, say, like a wheel brush and clean down there. So yeah, let's get started with the video. Let's keep this nice, short, and sweet. And I will show you what product I end up using and I've been enjoying even on customers' vehicles that I have been using. And this is Labocosmetica's Varius. So this is their new all-purpose cleaner. It's not like Ductile. It's not like their original one. This is their ready-to-use, made from different ingredients and a different formula. And it's pretty awesome the way it works. It like pretty much wipes off clean, and it just dissipates on its own, and it flashes off as if there is no like extra surfactants or anything that's left behind. How with most all-purpose cleaners, you really need to deep clean and keep wiping and make sure you rinse off to get that slight residue off. And then sometimes if you do use it straight or use an all-purpose cleaner, wipe it, you get that little chalky residue, and that's the same thing. You just got to rinse it off and continue rinsing. But for something like this, it is awesome, and I've been using this on pretty much all my customers' engine bays. So let's get started with that. And the first thing I like to do first is if you got a battery, obviously if it's like super exposed, like mine isn't really that exposed, but I still like to cover the terminals. That's just me. Just do you. And yeah, I don't gotta worry about the intake or anything in here. I'm not flooding anything, the alternator, none of that stuff. So I am pretty much set on my vehicle. If obviously your alternator is, say, exposed, like, the older styles like Toyotas and Hondas, where it's just really exposed all out here, you really want just to cover it up with a Kirkland microfiber towel, or just use a bag. That's all up to you. Just to cover it up. And we're not really introducing a whole bunch of water. That is something to keep in mind. What I like to do is just pretty much mist this on, per se. And bam, that is it. So that is what I like to do for the first bit. And then the second bit is use Varius. Now, I already drenched my wheel brush on inside a bucket already, so I already soaked this, so that is nothing to worry about. And I just spray Varius all over the engine bay. And this smells super. I like the smell of this. It doesn't have a strong kickback where you're gonna be like cough all over the place. You're not gonna be doing none of that. You could take a huge whiff. It just smells like cologne. And yeah, so I like to spray generous, spray a bit on my towel. And with agitation, it's great because it foams up. Like, let me bring you in close now that we are ready to go. This foams up, a bit of agitation, and it deep cleans very well. See that? Bit of agitation. See that? Foams up very nice. Obviously, of course, you want to work on a cool to the touch engine. I went out and I ended up leaving this in here for about an hour or so. I just I popped the hood open and just let it cool down for about an hour or so. Nothing feels better than having a clean engine bay. It's something that is like, hey, it's once in a while thing. You don't need to do this every month. It's just something just to keep it nice and clean. You like to keep the outside of the vehicle clean. Keep the engine bay clean once in a while. If you want to reach under here, you can. It's no biggie. I'm gonna just still with the same brush, just go all around here. I don't need to prep or wet or be worried about anything. Just spray a bit more of Varius inside your brush and just agitate away. And that is it. So I like to get a little bit more into the cowl here, because this is an area where, again, has been slightly neglected, and you will definitely find a bit of stuff in there. So that's it. You're good to go. You can put your brush down, and now we are ready just to rinse off. And the same process is, you don't have to, drench your whole vehicle. Just rinse off all this. And this is the one thing that I like about Dexia. I said Dexia. That's the interior one, Varius. That's the reason why I like this is because it's so easy to rinse off as well. So first, I like to do from top. To start off on the top. Just rinse off the rest. Now that I've rinsed off Varius, we are done. That is it. Look, engine bay is nice and clean. So as I said, it rinses off super easy. Now, one thing to note is I do have distilled water. So with that being said, I could just rinse this off, let it dwell. Nothing's gonna happen. I'm not gonna get any water spots. So I do have DI water. And what I'm gonna do here now is, what you can do on your end is turn on the vehicle. You could get the rest of the water, say, oh, that's inside here, just to speed up the process. But if you do not have DI water like I do, just make sure you just grab your towels and just start drying away. So that is one thing, is just group up most of the water. And then from here, I like to turn on the vehicle. I'll let it run for about like 5 minutes or so, and let the engine get hot, so that way it can evaporate all that other water that's left. And what it'll do, it'll evaporate all that extra water. I'm not going to close it all the way. It's going to evaporate all that water. I'm going to let that sit there for about, say, 5 minutes. Oh, one thing I did forget is I am going to dress it with Guardian. So you can spray Guardian, and as you can see, it's already drying up fairly quickly. So you can spray your dressing of choice. Spray it all over your plastics. It'll protect your plastics. So for me, I like to drench it. That is because from here, it is going to seep into the plastics. And that's it. So I am not going to bore you guys. I'm going to close this, and I'll see you all in about 5 minutes. All right, everyone. So it has been 5 minutes, about 5 minutes, and pretty much this is it. So just to recap what I used, I just used Varius. I just sprayed it on. Obviously, just work on a cool engine. That's what I ended up doing. Did a quick pre-rinse just for water. Then from there, I applied Varius. I applied a bunch of it. Just let it sit there, dwell. Agitated it with the brush. You saw how it just foams up very nice. It rinses off super easy, super clean. And then from there, even though, say the engine bay is slightly wet, I just grabbed a towel just to mop up most of the water. And then I ended up applying dressing. You could use Mortarplast from Coach Kemi, Guardian from from Detail Co, DIY Detail Tire Dressing, Fin Rear. Use whatever dressing that you want in your engine bay, and you'll be just fine. CarPro Pearl. I think 101 is what I used to use, or 103 in the engine bay back in the day. So that's pretty much all you need. And I'm going to shut off the vehicle now, and let's see how that dressing ends up. Let's see how the dressing ends up evening itself out. And if you like, you could grab a brush as well, a detail brush, whatever you like, and just spread it out. But in terms of me over applying it, this is what it's looking like after about 5 minutes or so. So if you like, you could just close this for a little bit longer if you like, or just grab a towel and just mop up the rest. And then I will show you up here on the overhead on how it looks after. I don't want to waste too much time. So yeah, so I'll just play it on the overhead on how it ends up looking afterwards. I may just grab another towel, and then what I'll do is just mop up the excess dressing like that. That's not a big deal whatsoever, just to get that nice even finish. And you don't have to wait, too long for it to evaporate, or just have the car running for another 5 minutes, right? That's all you need to do. It's not rocket science. And yeah, so I'll show you all on the overhead. Hopefully you all enjoy this type of content. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and I will see you all on the next one. And one last thing, tip again, as a reminder, if you're using just your regular tap water or hose, obviously just either blow it away with your air blower, air compressor, leaf blower, or just mop up most of it with your towel, so that way you don't get any water spots. But yeah, so hopefully you enjoy this type of content. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. I will see you all on the next one. Peace.